this is to kind of try to simplify and clarify. So all of this is to start dialogue. And the obvious thing is, in order to act on something, you need to be able to specify what you're acting on and what the action should be. We've decided to work on a pinch to select action. So that constrains a lot of what we're talking about. But first, we need to look at which interactions to provide things for that you can do. So we've got annotated bibliography, knowledge map, or information triage. So if we then start listing specific actions that need to be possible to do in there, and you notice I have plus, question mark, question mark, question mark. It'd be really useful to fill these in. Then there is a list of common to all of the above. That should also be filled in together. These are things like just finding an opening, selecting, annotating, changing the appearance, finding out the appearance. All of this stuff that should be obvious, but we need to list. And once we have that list, currently I have categorized it into these items. And the way it works is the middle bit here are these categories. And it makes sense that things that are selected should be done with the ring menu. So that's within this box. And to do commands and things which are not selected, we can use the hand menu because it doesn't have a selection. We can then consider direct manipulation, lifting, moving an object to allow you to directly view attributes, maybe by twisting something and so on. Then we have the left wrist maybe for external searches and findings and so on, and then right wrist for internal. That's one word wrong there, but that's the way it is at night. Here's some more thoughts around what these things should be. So then we need to decide on if we do the ring, if we do something like this, we have 4 top-level items for that. And we need to decide how it should be initiated. Maybe the ring shouldn't be too close to the object because we shouldn't only do it to selecting text in a PDF-looking thing, but also text individually in space. Fabienne has mentioned that this may not be feasible because we don't have the tracking. Fair enough. But for the ring menu on selected things, we need to decide on what happens, how to divide the slices up, so to speak, for the directions. What happens? Should we pull and go to the side? And how do we dismiss? Maybe we don't pull, we push, and we have these kinds of things to decide. Alternative things would be you select something and then you twist it to indicate a second level or command. You could do a second finger tap that we have for something. Double pinch tap might even work. Maybe you use the left hand to do something, etc. We need to decide on these things. Dividing the disk, depending on how many categories of things we want to have, we need to decide the geometry of the disk, and we need to look at how it feels moving something up to the right or down left and so on. We have to decide on Fitts law for the sizes of these things. We have to decide on the ergonomics, and also if something is going to have a secondary level, which I think most of these would have, what then? Will it be pulled through yet another ring, or will it be a different interaction? When you do pull through, can you then let go of the pinch and suddenly have your hand opportunity to do further things? Maybe. These are things we need to discuss once we have a clue of what the processes are. So for the hand menu, that would be this section here. We also need to decide, what fingers does it go onto? And how should these different things be accessed? Very similar design issues to how we should look at the ring menu and dealing with the slices here. Do the submenus float out of the fingers like we had last year, or are they on the fingers? Do they provide discs or rings, or lots of things like that? And then the wrist menus, what happens when someone taps on the left or right wrist? How do they access information? Do they see a list? Do they see some kind of a map thing? These are things we need to decide on as well. How to open things. Maybe it's a flat menu. Maybe it becomes a hand menu then. I don't know. And then also direct manipulation. Maybe somebody touches something. If you twist it around or over, maybe that reveals more information and kind of grows out of it or not. Going back maybe to our box notion and all of that. So that's yet another thing, and there are many, many questions of how we should do this. And this, I think, is the beginning of the dialogue where we look at the interface and we look at what the interface should accommodate. We look at the commands, but we look at them in a jumble. We do section by section. but they all relate to each other because they all provide opportunities. So I just wanted to make you this video to really present what I'm talking about. All right, it's getting late. I'm going to have a game. Thank you.